everyone. Welcome to Work Love Wednesday. Sam Smelter here for Work Love Wednesday. It is time for Work Love Wednesday. Hi Facebook, Sam Smelter here, and it is time for Work Love Wednesday. That's right. Happy day after Christmas. I hope you had an incredible holiday with your loved ones and got to rejuvenate a little bit, or you're spending today rejuvenating. I know that the holidays, just with all of the events and things that you have to do, they're just very draining on me. So today is kind of a really chill day. I'm doing some things around the office. I call it my landlord duty since we bought the building almost officially a year ago, which is pretty cool. That is truly my home away from home. But just taking my time today, and I hope you are doing the same. Taking my time so much that I was 5 minutes late, even though I changed the schedule and the time for Work Love Wednesday so that I could be more on time. Anyways, so today I want to talk about expectations and assumptions, which is something that I talk about quite a bit. And this actually is inspired by, but like a repeat topic. So there is like a really old podcast episode. It was probably the 4th podcast episode that I ever recorded when it was Random Ramblings, called The Great Gift Card Debate. And I have this big thing about gift cards during the holiday season, which I don't usually go on this riff, but I do have it and it's out there. But really, in a gist, is talking about, if gift cards are this easy way out to give a gift, because you wait till the last minute and you don't have time to think or have time to shop, and so you give a gift card. There's two different versions of when you're giving a gift card. One is when it's intentionally thought of. So this year I had a couple of gift cards that were given to me because I'm saving up for some new gym equipment for at home. I need a new weightlifting rack, and it's quite pricey, and so I asked people to help contribute by giving gift cards there. So that was being intentional and kind of contributing to the cause of my gym collective that I'm building at home. Anyways, so there's the intentional one, the one where there's thought put in and you know that it is worthwhile. Then there's the other one that's kind of like the cop-out. I have to get you a gift. I know that I'm mandated to get you a gift, and so I'm just going to pick one and send it to you. And so the reason why this becomes this thing with me is because I think one of the most beautiful things about the season is gift giving when it's done intentionally, because it's your way of allowing you to tell people that you're thinking about them and that they mean something to you. And usually, because it's the end of the year, it has something to do with the amount of reflection that you're doing about the things that have happened throughout the year. And so a great example of this is that I randomly get gifts from clients per se, or coaching clients who have moved on, and it's not a consistent kind of thing, but just a random thing that made them think of me or something that we did from our time together. And they're usually these little trinkets, something small, and even vice versa. There's sometimes something that comes up in our coaching time together that's really very symbolic for somebody. And then sometimes while I'm out shopping, I feel like that symbol is just placed in front of me, and it's like this gift that's meant to go to that person, and I do that. And when you give gifts in that context, you can really feel the specialness, the gratitude, the love that is passed in that transaction. One of the things I struggled with a lot this holiday season is gift giving for my husband. So we are 9 years married, 14 years together, and we're really kind of transitioning into that way of life where things are, it's not so much about all the jazzy, special kind of gifts. We value more so time together, but we still like to do something small to give to each other. And I really, really struggled this year. And that's because I want to have this intentional gift giving. It's something that, especially for somebody like Josh, who means the world to me, to just be able to pick up some knickknack and give it to him for the purposes of just giving a gift was not substantial. It had to be something where there was thought or it was relevant. And there was more to it. And I think Josh can agree, we both exert a lot of energy trying to figure out those gifts to make each other feel loved, because that's really important to us, that we make the other person feel that way. And so I really struggled with that. And that leads us really nicely to my topic about expectations and assumptions. So in the HR realm, we talk about expectations and assumptions a lot. There's even a debate around there about when we can overkill the expectation piece, or even overkill on the assumption piece. So if you talk about something like dress code, when we say the expectation is that everyone dresses professionally, what does that mean to each person? And are we assuming that everyone knows our definition that we want in regards to dress code? And so we do a lot of coaching and training on when do we have to establish expectations, how specific do they have to be, and then when are we assuming too much, and when do we have those assumptions that are happening. And so I thought that this was a really kind of interesting thing that came up this holiday season, and talking about people and the differences and where we come from as we kind of grow up and then kind of mesh together and trying to make relationships and have life together. And so something that's really, I shouldn't say apparent, but is a difference between me and Josh is the way that we grew up in relation to holiday cards. So in my family, holiday cards were basically, you got the bulk pack and you would just sign them and give them if you were going to give Christmas cards. On presents, there were really no Christmas cards. There were just gift tags. That's what was there. The gift spoke for itself. If we gave a gift card, they typically went into a card itself to help, that was your wrapping for the card. But the cards were typically humorous in nature. Growing up, I don't remember a lot of really sentimental cards. Every once in a while, one would sneak in there and it would catch me off guard. But for the most part, we were big fans of humorous cards. Now, on the opposite side, Josh's family does cards for pretty much everything. And they are hand-picked out cards for every holiday. And Josh is excellent at this. Any kind of, from Valentine's Day to Christmas to Thanksgiving to Easter to all the little mini anniversaries that we still celebrate, he is able to find time and make a priority to go to the store and hand pick a card. I don't think that way, and it completely, skips my mind. And a couple years back when it first started to really happen, because I have to be very intentional about it, like make a note and keep going. And then life just got so busy with the kids that there were a couple of holidays where I didn't have them. And then I was scrounging to make a card because then I thought that was just as meaningful. And there was a couple times, I think our wedding anniversary, is either wedding anniversary or his birthday, and I just did not have one. And I felt awful. And even though there might have been a ping of pain on his side, he said that he understood. And now it's kind of transitioned a little bit where he knows that it's just not top of mind. Doesn't mean that I'm not thinking about him. Doesn't mean that I'm not intentional or I don't love him. But I express my love in other ways rather than these cards. And so this year at Christmas, I did it again. The first thing that he gave when we did our gift exchanges was he gave me this beautiful card with this beautiful message in it. And I did not have a card. And I told him that, and he said it was okay. And I really believe that he said it was okay. But it made me think about, all the years coming up to that. When it comes to gift giving, when it comes to, talking about the gift cards or intentional giving, we make a lot of assumptions. We know what we want to feel loved and feel treasured and feel worthy and feel appreciated, whether it's from our boss or from our spouse or from our boyfriend, girlfriend, or best friend, coworkers, all those, when it comes to gift giving, whether it's Christmas or our birthday, we have some expectations per se. And we make assumptions that others should know what those are to make us feel the way that we want to feel. And I want to reminds you that we all come from very different backgrounds. We are raised in very different ways, and that means our brains don't always have the same expectation alignment that you would like. And so when you make the assumption that we know and we don't know, that's where some pain points start to happen. That's where people feel hurt or they're let down and their expectations aren't met. And it's really hard for somebody to meet an expectation if they don't know what it is. But then going back to what I had mentioned about in HR, how we can get overexcited about expectations and assumptions. I'm by no means saying you need to set expectations clearly with all the loved ones in your life on how you need to feel loved and appreciated in the form of gifts. But I highly challenge you that if there is something that really, truly is causing you distraught or to feel like you're not loved and appreciated, that's something that you need to share. So for example, the cards. If for my husband, he truly was like, the cards are what make me feel loved. I could care less about the gifts. These are really important to me. And when you choose not to buy one or spend time or write in it a sentimental message, what you are saying to me is that I am not meaningful to you, or that you don't love me. And if that's how he is internalizing and feeling it, then it's up to me to meet him in the middle, meet that expectation, because it's important to me for him to feel loved. And so that's what I want to talk about expectations and assumptions. And it can go both ways. What are you expecting and what are you assuming that people know? And if you find out at the end of the day that what you assume that they know, they don't know, are you going to be okay? And if you're not going to be okay, then we need to start talking about expectations, and we need to reach out a little bit more and be clear on that, be crystal clear on that. Because a lot of the time we assume it means something much bigger, but it doesn't. It just means that people didn't know and they didn't understand. And most people, and I truly believe this, I always assume positive intent. They're not being malicious. They're not trying to cause you pain. They honestly just didn't know any better. One of my mentors that got me into training altogether, Tracy Aust, used to tell me all the time that common sense doesn't exist. And I share this with people all the time, and people will fight me on it. But it's probably the greatest advice that I've ever given, I've ever received, not ever given, but ever received. Because when I think about the idea that common sense does not exist, it always challenges me to think, what am I assuming that somebody knows? And even in a situation where we can all make the argument that it's something that everybody should know, what if they don't know? And who knows what that path is that they've lived through or gone through that has resulted in them not knowing. And there's so many factors that we could dive into there. But at the end of the day, what if I'm assuming that they know and they don't know? Am I really giving them what they need to show up at their best, to be their best? And maybe right now what you're seeing is them being the best that they can possibly be. And so the question is, what now? And so that is my quick little riff and thoughts for this week's Work Love Wednesday, to help you keep connected to building that business and life that you are wanting and loving and needing. So if you're watching this later on, make sure you comment and say hello so I know that you're here, because it doesn't tell me. And I'm sorry, I keep hitting the desk and causing that vibration. That is not buffering. That is me. Not buffering. That's me. Anyways, I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Relax today or the rest of the week. And have a happy new year, because I'll see you right after that in 2019. See ya.